Hi, welcome back to What's on My Mind. I'm Thomas, and uh, thank you for watching. This video is one that I've been wanting to make for a bit, and this is going to be a messy video. It's going to be a difficult video for me to make because it is about. I'm recording this on January 17th, so 3 days before the inauguration of Donald J. Trump as the next president of the United States. That is not an outcome that I wanted. And I will say that I proudly, proudly voted for Kamala Harris. And this is some of my complaints. Well, it's what's on my mind about the upcoming state and the current state of the American political system and the American society in general. I think personally that and I'm not trying to be a I'm not trying to be a downer. I'm not trying to say that this is an existential threat. Global warming is an existential threat. That is something that we need to worry about. Because global warming and climate change are real. They are proven by science. But the level of toxic propaganda coming from the right wing is just sickening. It is um the it is the misinformation about migrants and immigrants and refugees. It is the blatant forms of racism and sexism, homophobia, Islamophobia, and bigotry that are ever present in American politics and in American society and should not be present at all in any circumstance. I proudly stand with the LGBTQ community. I myself am an ally. I proudly stand with the Asian American Pacific Islander community. I proudly stand with the Latino community. I proudly stand with the African American community. I proudly stand with any group that at one point has been marginalized by bigots and racists and um discriminatory actions and discriminatory language. I, as a Caucasian male, I apologize, and I think that it's important to talk about how that enters into the upcoming state of American politics. And I'm going to take my hat off for this. Donald Trump is dangerous. He has been dangerous. He knows what he's doing. He has purposefully tried to undermine the American electoral system on multiple occasions. This is not misinformation. This is not some sort of propaganda from the far left or from the woke or from the deep state. The deep state does not exist. Okay? I'm just going to put that right out there. The deep state is a bunch of nonsense. It is not a thing. There's no secret cabal of Satan worshipping pedophiles controlling the government. It's just not a thing. The people can believe whatever they want, and that is what I've preached on this channel. Not preached. That's what I've said on this channel in the past. But the level of the level of toxic misinformation and disinformation sent towards the political left has to stop. It's just dehumanizing, because I consider myself a socialist, and I don't want people running around saying that I'm a communist. I'm not a communist. The reason communism doesn't work is because humans are fallible. And I and if this video gets demonetized for my political opinions, or by or you can disagree with me, and people will disagree with me, but disagree with me civilly and with respect. Don't immediately say that I'm wrong. Don't immediately say that I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't immediately say that I'm a woke liberal or a radical Marxist. I'm not a I'm not a Marxist. I'm not a Leninist. I'm not a communist. I'm not a fascist or social. I'm a socialist. I think that social programs like universal health care are beneficial, and by saying all of these by groups of people who do not agree with me saying all of these things about my political opinions is dehumanizing. It's not what I want to be hearing on a daily basis. I know someone who I do not agree with, but I at least am able to speak with him in a civil way about it. Granted, he messes with me sometimes, so it's hard to tell, but it's at least a civil discourse. The second thing I want to talk about is the sheer denial of science. Donald Trump's appointee of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to be the Secretary of Health and Human Services is a complete and utter nightmare. I work in healthcare. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. thinks that we should use bleach to treat diseases. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. thinks numerous things that are ridiculous and should not be followed as medical advice, because he does not have a public health degree. If it was up to me, and it is not, and I know that it is not, but if it was up to me, a person who is in charge of a nation's public health should have a public health degree. People are going to disagree with me on that, and I'm going to get a lot of grief with that in the comments. I do not care. You should have a public health degree if you make decisions about your nation's healthcare. Donald Trump has numerously said that he wants to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. Numerous times. Okay, say you're a person with an underlying medical condition and you need insurance. The Affordable Care Act guarantees that if you have a pre-existing medical condition, you cannot be denied insurance or Medicare or Medicaid. What will that do if he takes it away? Just think about that for a second. Comment below what you think will happen if you agree with me. If you disagree with me, I don't really. Your input is useful here to create a civil discourse, but uh, if you're going to be rude about it or be discriminatory about it towards me or other liberals or other Democrats, don't bother. Another thing, Donald Trump is a racist. Donald Trump is a blatant racist. He's a blatant homophobe. He's a blatant Islamophobe. He has aligned himself with a far-right political party that is currently active in Germany. This is not a joke. This is not misinformation. This is a fact. That specific political party in Germany, even though fascism and certain elements of Nazism and neo-Nazism are illegal in Germany and have been, and I consider that a very useful policy, and I wish that was the thing here. But freedom of speech and the and I don't know why KKK demonstrations are guaranteed under the First Amendment because they are hate speech. and they are fighting words, and they are not guaranteed under the First Amendment. I'm not a lawyer, and if you're a lawyer and you disagree with me on that, please write that in the comments. But he has aligned himself with a far-right German political party that is basically neo-Nazism. He aligns himself with neo-Nazis. He is a neo-Nazi. He is a wannabe fascist. I don't know how people don't see that. People say that he's going to be good for the economy. No, he's going to impose tariffs on all of our importing, on all of the nations we import from, which is going to increase the cost of living in the United States for every single person by $6,000. You might not think it's a lot, but it is. And he wants to get rid of a woman's right to choose to have an abortion. And I know that that's a very controversial topic, and I'm just going to say that that should not be the government's decision. A woman should have the right to choose. It, if it is medically necessary for a woman to have an abortion because her life depends on it, she should have the ability to make that decision on her own accord without her husband, the government, or some organization telling her what or what not to do. Unless that organization is directly knowledgeable of what her medical conditions are and what she has experienced in the past. Full stop. I don't know what the right wing has with Roe v. Wade. It's probably religion, but separation of church and state is a thing. Separation of church and state is the reason that Thomas Jefferson and George Washington were deists. That is the utmost, that is the complete reason that they were. And the Christian right, no. Just no. I don't care. You think that your opinions are beneficial? They're not. They're discriminatory. They're chauvinist. They're out of A Handmaid's Tale. I've not read the book. I know the premise. It's dystopia. It is a dystopia. Donald Trump is trying to create a dystopian society where women are controlled by their husbands and the government. Another thing that he's trying to do is he's trying to give more power to himself, which no, no, that is not that is just not in the oath of office. Preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution, not try every waking minute of your day to undermine the political systems that have been in place in the United States for over 200 years. I don't know how people don't understand that, or I don't know how people still support him, because he is clearly dangerous. He is clearly motivated. He has never done an ounce of work in his life. He tries to prevent himself from ever getting into trouble, and he has succeeded, and that is not how that should work. He is, I can name 7,000 things that I don't agree with him on, because he's obviously not the person who I voted for, because I voted for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz to be the next president and vice president of the United States, although that didn't happen. I'm not happy about it, but it's the political system, and we should accept that. But a political party shouldn't, but a political party that doesn't agree with you shouldn't go around saying that that a pizza place in New York is run by a cabal of cannibals. No. This is one of the many reasons that I don't have social media. And one of the many reasons that information is that accurate, well-researched information and a well-researched content is vital. You may disagree with me, but I think that if you do agree with me, or if you're watching this video and you don't agree with me, thank you for coming this far. I don't know why you'd be watching a socialist tirade on the state of American politics, which, I don't know, it's probably because I listen to a lot of Bob Dylan and I'm very politically motivated and very politically activated or active. I am not a I am not a I do not take the law into my own hands. I don't tell my supporters to go to the Capitol building and try and undermine the results of a fair election. I don't say that if I'm not running for office, but I don't say that if I don't win an election that the election was rigged or stolen. I accept the results and I move on. I ran for a position as class president in fifth grade. I didn't win. I accepted the results and moved on. I was upset, yes. I accepted the results and moved on because that's how politics works. Politics like that has worked as an institution for 240 for 249 for almost 250 years. And at our and I think that what Ben Franklin said about a republic, if you can keep it, is valid right now more than ever. So, and this is not sponsored, but if you want to have me make a video about why the election results have occurred the way they did, I will. I will be happy to do that, and I think it would be a valuable experience for myself and for my viewers. Not that I have any right now. Sorry, that was under my breath. I will most likely have a couple of viewers of this video. You may not agree with anything that I'm saying. You may not even like anything that I'm saying. I'm not gonna show this because I will get demonetized. Uh, but seriously, please use your common sense, which is severely lacking right now, and take what Tom Hartman says. Democracy is not a spectator sport. Democracy is democracy happens when people show up. And I want to close with saying, um, thank you to President Joseph Robinette Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris, uh, Governor Tim, Governor Governor Timothy Walz of Minnesota, Governor Gavin Newsom of California, Senator Bernie Sanders, former Secretary of State Hillary Rodham Clinton, Barack Hussein Obama, who was born in Hawaii, which is part of the United States, Michelle Obama, or Michelle Robinson Obama, Malia and Sasha. Thank you to all who've continued to who've continued to fight for what for a better America, for a better nation, for one nation of unity and peace and respecting our neighbors and not trying to annex Canada. You can't annex another country. You're not Germany with the Sudetenland. Seriously. I trying to okay, I get about trying to buy Greenland. There's a lot of natural resources there. It's part of Denmark. We have a good relationship with Denmark. I am Danish. Please, don't buy Denmark. Oh, God. I just irritates me. Everything, but I mean, you need to look at what he actually does rather than just what he says. But he has continued to put into place systems that are going to dismantle the government from the inside out. The Department of Government Efficiency is just about making the government smaller and cost less money, and just so that he can have more control over things that happen. Elon Musk, one of the richest people in the United States, who has his own cult of personality with the Cybertruck, which is personally what I consider one of the ugliest vehicles ever created. And if you have a Cybertruck, what are you doing? The thing looks like a toddler drew it when someone asked them to draw a car. That is a cult of personality. And the, Elon Musk paying to have a place in American government is just wrong. No. Government should not work like that. No. Elon Musk doesn't know what he's doing. He came from a diamond mining family in South Africa. Think about that. Before apartheid. Think about it. And, I mean, even like Secretary of State picks and uh, Department of Defense picks and any other secretary or member of the cabinet that former and President-elect Trump, I can't believe I'm saying that, has appointed, has no idea what the heck they're doing. They just don't, because they are not experts in their field. Janet Yellen, expert in her field. Pete Buttigieg, the Secretary of Transportation, knows what he's talking about. The Secretary of State, currently, who I forget, the Attorney General, Jerome Powell. Come on, man, do your job, please, with the, with all of the, with all of the legal issues that Trump has had. Couldn't you have at least brought these to him earlier so that it would have been easier to convict him, throw him in jail, because that's what he deserves. Donald Trump does not deserve to be in the White House. He deserves to be in a federal prison with consecutive sentences, because we have, as an American people, elected to go back to our piece of critics. Literally. We have elected a president who does not respect women, has openly said that he has committed sexual abuse. Openly stated, yet couldn't get charged for it criminally because it was past the statute of limitations. He was heard on an Access Hollywood tape about inappropriate behavior with female contestants on a Miss Teen USA, which is just wrong, creepy, and highly illegal. And how did he not get immediately arrested for that? There is a photo of him online with a certain CEO of a company who was charged with the worst kind of crime. And many of the things in this video I probably can't even say that I want to say, probably can't even say. It's just gonna get worked up, but it's a ridiculous. It's just ridiculous that people don't that there are still people who don't understand just how awful our lives are going to become. People always say that his economy was much better. It wasn't. The price of gas was so low because it was a pandemic. He didn't do anything about that pandemic. He didn't do anything that kept the cost of insulin. He didn't do anything that kept the cost of prescription drugs. He repeatedly tries to undermine the American justice system. Uh, he said that the Central Park Five should still be in jail. He bullied people with disabilities. I was born with a congenital birth defect. I take that personally. So, which is why I really don't like him and think that he is a horrible person, but that's just an opinion. And you don't need to agree with me with that. In fact, you don't need to agree. Like I said, you don't need to agree with anything I'm saying in this video. Just if you want me to, if you want to preserve American democracy, make an educated decision, please. For law and order, you were voting between a 34-time convicted felon with 4 different criminal cases, all of them federal, or most of them federal, one for sedition, which the Alien and Sedition Act still exists. If correct me if I'm wrong, and do so in the comments, please. The Alien and Sedition Act still exists to this day, and I don't know how that didn't flag more people as being ridiculously not okay. He tried to stage a coup. In the past, people have been unalived for that. Seriously. I'm not saying you should be unalived. That's not what I'm saying. But that was a punishment. You tried to over. There's a reason that the founders of the United States were so wary of the Brits because they were committing treason, and if they lost, they were going to end up without a very specific part very quickly. Mainly this. But that's another way of saying they were going to be unalived for treason against the British Crown. Which, yeah, um, I American democracy is so messy. Make an educated decision, please. In 4 years, if the U.S. hasn't become a complete dumpster fire, and we still have a we still have a we still don't and we still have a two-party system, inshallah, which means hopefully or God willing, please vote, please vote, please vote. I will close with thank you for watching. This has been What's on My Mind. I'm Thomas. I will see you in the next video. Like, share, subscribe. Share this with anyone in your life who might appreciate it. Share this with people in your life who you don't like and like to annoy. Just share this video, please. So, I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out. I really, truly appreciate my fan base, and here we go. Let's see what happens in 3 days. Or, yeah, in almost 3 days. Like 2 almost. Jeez. Well, Yeah, so thanks for watching.